Thrax.
Welcome to our podcast. My name is Tholoi.
I'm Isaiah Grice, and today we have with us...
Nautical McCallum.
Deontay Lambright.
And Xavier Aguilar.
All right, so today basically we're just talking about social media and how it affects this generation. So how important would y'all say social media is to y'all? How much time are y'all on it?
Me personally, I get on social media when I'm bored. Like if I'm not doing anything, if I'm not in class or doing homework, I get on just to occupy myself. So.
Social media I think is very important, like an aspect of just doing connections and being able to reach out and branch out to other people, communicate, especially if you're involved a lot on what you do on campus and stuff like that. Be able to address your opinions and voices and stuff like that.
Social media for me, like Nautica said, it's kind of like a time saver, or not even a time saver, just like something to take up time. You just do it when you're bored or when you really have nothing else to do. And to touch on what Lambright said, it is very important because it does run a lot of the aspects that we have today, and it does influence a lot of our lives.
Social media to me is more like a gateway out of reality. I use social media throughout the day to escape some of the not the homework, but the trials that I go through in life.
I would definitely agree with Tolo because definitely to just forget where I am. If I'm somewhere I don't want to be or just bored, I definitely would scroll on Instagram or Twitter, and next thing I know, an hour and a half would go by. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with that. So another thing that basically our topic is about is it dealing with relationships. Could y'all talk about if a past experience or have you witnessed anything how do you think it affects your relationships, friends, girlfriends, significant others, anything like that?
If you got a girlfriend, some of them, they're not going to come out their mouth and say, I want to be posted. Some of them they'll give you that look, or they'll ask questions, why you ain't posting this and that? Because they feel as if the need is for them to be shown off. Everybody, they got to understand, everybody doesn't need to be shown off. It's a certain time and place to show what's yours. Yeah, to show what's yours and claim what's yours. But every second, every minute, you do not have to post your significant other. Why? Because it's pointless. And that's for me. Because if, soon as you posting on a daily basis, and as soon as you stop posting, they're going to be like, well, what you doing? You cheating on me, this and that, because you're not posting it no more.
I feel like social media is like a downfall in relationships. I feel like people have that relationship goals and stuff like that, and that's the ideal status. So people perpetrate and feel like that's what their relationship has to be, and every relationship is different. So when people see that their relationship's not what they see on social media, they think that's an issue and that's a problem, and that by itself is a problem, and that deteriorates the relationship within.
Yeah, to touch on what both said, it can be a downfall, but it could also be a perk. It's just used correctly, just like anything else. So when you're in a relationship with a girl, there's nothing wrong with showing her off every once in a while. Posting pictures of y'all dating, going out on a date. It shows off that you appreciate her and that you want everybody to know you're with her. Now, on the other part of that, there is the downfall that you could be posting too much about your life or your personal relationship with someone, and it will allow others to kind of have a insight on your relationship. And then in today's generation, there's this problem when relationships are starting to go wrong. People will take to the social media and start to post things about their relationships, and it will start to deteriorate. It will make them. It gives others insight on their problems that they can take advantage of, or that they can just be in their relationship, and it's not good to have other people in your relationship, especially through social media accounts.
I believe social media can be a good thing in relationship, but for the most part, I believe it's a bad thing. Today's generation, with the technology that we use today, there can be Photoshop, there can be other factors that could influence a person, person's decisions when it comes to their relationship and how they view each other. And with the technology today, things can be shifted and altered to make one thing look like another thing and ruin a person's relationship altogether. We've seen that with celebrities, Tristan Thompson, Khloe Kardashian. We've seen that in their lives, and ultimately those could happen to our lives too.
Dang, Tholoi, you low-key hit, like, the nail on the head with that. Like, I forgot about, like, the whole Photoshop thing. Because, I mean, like, if you think about it, like, that's what honestly makes, I feel like, either male or female make people feel, like, insecure, like, in relationships. Because, like, everybody wants to, you know, have the best body or look the best. But if you think about it, I mean, I feel like celebrities in itself, like, they don't really give a good like portrayal of what it needs to be, because even they are famous and they're still getting work done on their body, you know, making other people who don't have that much money, you know, to do stuff like that, to like have a different outlook on themselves. But honestly, yeah, like kind of like what Deontay said about the social media relationship stuff, like I feel like it's just there to like make people like not jealous, but like oh, this is goals, yeah, we goals, like nah, like every relationship is different, you know what I'm saying? And I honestly don't feel like that you have to post everything on social media. That's one thing I don't do. Like when I use that's why I don't post much on Twitter, because like I don't like putting my life out there, like so people can like know what moves I'm making. Because I mean, like I don't mind sharing my life, but I'm not gonna have somebody like just watching every move I do, because I feel like that's not necessary. Like with a relationship, I feel like, especially people these days, I feel like they don't respect relationships. And if they see like a chink in the armor, kind of, they gonna like, oh dang, or you should drop him and get with me, like type stuff. Like so that's just how I feel about it. But
So coming from the other side of that, from a female's perspective, I believe, or you know, coming from a personal experience, like they believe more that they just want to be shown off, and that if you do not post them on social media, that you have something to hide.
Yeah, like you're cheat or something.
Yeah, like
you don't want to show them.
Yeah, like you don't want everyone to know you're with them.
Yeah.
But that's never the case.
No.
It's just like in my case personally, like
You don't want everybody in your business.
yeah,
Exactly.
I use social media to scroll and just like kill time. I'm not one to post. You can go on my social media. It's been like months since I posted something. It's just not. It's not me. I don't go on there to post. I don't go on there so that others can know about my life. I just go on there just to kill time. So from personal experience, I've had problems where they're like, "Why don't you post me? Why don't we do this?" It's like I'm just not a social media oriented
Like
person.
that's not you.
Yeah,
But
it's not my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, I don't see nothing wrong with it. So, you know, there are situations where I'll compensate and I'll post, you know, because I do understand the need to feel appreciated. You know, even if you show them all the time that you appreciate them in person, they still want that extra feeling like, yeah, he posted me, or hey, you seen this picture of my man, blah blah blah.
And not only that though, like once a female, once they have that feeling to her, like just cause you're not posting them, you know, they feel like you know what I'm saying, you declining in like the love and stuff, like you losing feelings and stuff. It's just not always the case. Like just cause you, like you said, just cause you don't post them don't mean you don't love them. But at the same time, a female is gonna have that feeling like, oh, he not posting me. I feel like he, you know what I'm saying, falling away, falling to the side. You know what I'm saying?
He doesn't care anymore.
And like that, it makes sense because like, you know, of course you want her to see that you showing her off, like, yeah, this my girl, you know what I'm saying? Let the world see, you know. So of course that's what we gonna do, but it's not a necessity to life. Like they act like it's a need. Like it's not a need, it's a want.
Yeah.
So in there, it's a complete difference. So like
that's just them craving more attention than what they're getting already.
And once somebody starts out of line, then once that person says something, then you know he's also crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not so sure when I touched on it, but like I feel like posting, like, you know, your friends, your close friends, your family and stuff like that are gonna know if you're in a relationship. And I feel like right there, that's what matters. Like posting on your girl on social media and stuff like that for the outside world to know, that's just okay, yeah. But like at the end of the day, you have a circle. You're only close with maybe 5, 6 some people, and that's what really matters. That your significant knows. Like, as long as that person knows that your main people know, that your like people you care about know. I feel like that's what matters. Posting for the outside world, letting people in your business and drama is unnecessary and it's pointless. So I feel like to an extent, like, and if your significant other feels like you have a lack of love because you're not posting them, then that's an issue within itself right there. Because if your actions don't show that you love that person, if how you treat that person and how you talk to that person, if that doesn't show right there, And if it takes social media to prove that you're loved, then that's the problem. And that needs to be addressed because that's where like a buildup of issues need to be addressed and stuff like that.
They just, what's
be,
more important is that they want to see other people and let them seeing being loved.
But see,
that's the thing.
That's also like an insecurity. Like from personal experience, when I was younger, there was a girl I was in a relationship with that she wouldn't post me, and I just didn't understand it at the time. I was like, "Why won't you post me?" She was like, "We just started dating. I don't feel like posting you because then it just seems like I'm posting you, and then if something happens, we fall off. Then I feel like I have explaining to do." I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And then, but so in my eyes, like, yeah, I was a little naive and immature about it in the situation. But then from her side, she also was more concerned about what other people were gonna think if she posted me rather than like what I was thinking. In my eyes, yeah, okay, maybe I would, like I said, I was immature because I just wanted to be posted so that people could see. But from our perspective, guys do want to be posted as well. And then there are like certain reasons, some guys want to be posted that way other guys see y'all together and they'll,
stay like back off.
Like,
but at the same time, you gotta understand, bro. Everybody is not the same.
Yeah,
like,
guys.
Somebody gonna look at this now. Oh, they got a girl. Let me. She got a man. Let me go. I ain't gonna worry about it. But then you got some guys that be like,
I don't care.
So yeah, some people are like that's what they like to do is break up relationships.
Yeah, and look, and see that's the thing though. Not only that, us men, we can't help that. It's how the female respond. If they respond to that in another way, then cheating. Like, I don't care what way it is. I mean, yeah, a little thank you here and there, you know what I'm saying? It's whatever. Thank you, okay, of course. Of course somebody's going to slide up.
But after that, no responses need to be made.
Right,
like,
you know what I'm saying?
That's cool.
After that, thank you, and they respond, you welcome, you ain't got to say nothing else. If you keep responding, you're entertaining that person. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care if they say welcome, you say okay. What's the point of going on? You already said thank you.
Right.
And then, not only that, though, once that person slides up, it's like it turns to a constant thing. And then that's when you start questioning shit. Like, all right, like, okay, so what's going on? And then you start questioning. Then they're gonna start have that feeling like, what you think I'm doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm asking you a simple question because, like you said, you post on social media and then.
So like,
but yeah,
you never know, honestly.
Yeah.
But that's just the generation we live in. Like, it is hard to use. You basically have to use social media responsibly. Like even for your personal life, because now even jobs search social media. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So
coaches, all that.
Jobs, coaches, people don't get scholarships because of social media things. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't get jobs. You don't get drafted. Like. So, like, realistically, like, social media runs a lot of our life. So, when you bring that into a relationship, you already, like, especially...
exposing to certain things.
Yeah, and then, like, a lot of females, they post themselves. So, when they come to you and you bring that into your relationship, you have to understand that they've been doing this.
I got a good note.
So, they got to kind of either... You just got to talk to them about it because, sometimes they do post to seek attention. So, for other guys, or they just post for themselves. But it does... cause conflict in a relationship when they are posting and multiple guys are hitting them up, unless they're stopping.
They know how to avoid that.
Yeah, but that's maturity. You know what I'm saying? Like that's them understanding. Like, all right, I'm in a relationship now. I cannot react.
Right. You like every. That's what this generation got to understand. Every reaction doesn't need a response. And okay, and this is the perfect analogy. Okay, say you go get a Lamborghini, right? You get a Lamborghini, you drive it. Somebody they're gonna be like, dang, bro, you know what I'm saying? Your car look good. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they're gonna put gas in the driver too. Same when you get a fine female, you post a female, of course, or she post a picture. Everybody gonna comment. Everybody gonna want to talk to her. Everybody gonna try to get her number. It's the way she respond. Like, okay, and that's the person having a fine female. If you got a fine female, then people gonna try and talk to her all the time.
Well,
and it's the way and that's when we control our insecurities because we know she's fine. Exactly. And of course, it's like I said, it's how she responds to that. How she reacts is really what is going to determine the whole thing. If she don't act accordingly, bro, then of course it's gonna be downfall because she's gonna be too busy taking pictures. Oh, let me post this so they can slide up, and then that's where they get carried away, and then that's when all love fails and loyalty and trust gets gone out the window.
All right, let me get to this question. All right, so since we have such broad uses of social media, how does it old people say all the time this generation, we're so rebellious and chaotic.
They didn't use it.
So is there a problem with this generation using social media that say that we can't find love, or is this other generations were better? What is your?
It's not other generations were better, so to speak. They weren't better at finding love. It's just we have this misconstrued perception of what love is, and that's no fault of our own. It's what we've grown up around. Unless you grew up in a family, or unless you grew up around a certain type of love within family members or friends. So for me, you have like Tholoi mentioned, celebrities. That's you see them love, you're like, oh man, I want that type of love, blah blah. And then Lambright mentioned relationship goals. We have this thing where people will post and be like, oh, that's relationship goals, or they do a video, that's relationship goals. It's like, why is that your goal? Not everybody's. Yeah, your goal should not to be like somebody else. Your goal, your relationship is unique. You're unique, and your girl is unique. So your love is going to be unique. Not everybody loves the same. I'm not going to love the same that any of you are. We may have the same aspects, but we're not going to love the same. We're not going to love the same people. Respect. So why, in our generation, we use this social media, the relationship goals as, oh man, that's what I want. When back then, in a different the older generation, there was no social media for them to walk around and be like, oh yeah, that I want that. No, it's you go out and you find love.
Yeah, you have to go.
Yeah, you can't slide up. You can't slide up on a Snapchat. You can't swipe right on Tinder. You can't slide in nobody's DMs. You have to go old school, knock on their door.
Yeah,
ask the dad, write a letter, permission.
And see, that's the thing. See, that's what's wrong with the generation now. We rely on, okay, I ain't trusting, but she gonna hit me back, she gonna text me back, or she gonna DM me back.
Yeah.
See, back then they didn't have all that. Like you said, they had to go up and knock on somebody's door. Only thing about that generation is that generation was not more on cheating or whatever. That was back then. It was actually, I would say, real love. Mm-hmm. It's a difference between real love.
They did cheat, but just not as much as
what I'm saying. That, I would say that was real love compared to this love. This is fake love. Nowadays, people are saying love as it's a word like. They say like more than they say love. You know what I'm saying?
I got a word for that one. So
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying, I got you. But I'm saying they use love so heavily nowadays. It has no meaning no more. Love had a strong meaning back in the older days before we was born, and now it's just a word. A word in a dictionary.
So touch on that. Words that you repeat over and over and over tend to lose its meaning.
Right.
So saying love. After a while, it's all right, it's just another word. So a word that I personally use and I love is the word limerence. Limerence is technically what we call puppy love. It's the infatuation with someone and your belief that you're in love with them when you're not actually in love with them. So there was a study that true love, it's hard to tell because true love is different for everybody, but love comes within 2 years or around that mark in a relationship. Everything else before that is limerence. It's just the ideal that you love that person or that you are in with that person so much that you want to say you love them, but you don't really love them because there are trials and tribulations that you have not gone through. There are things that you have not experienced with that person. So for me, limerence is what we do. It's our generation. That defines our generation for me because people are so quick to say I love you. People are so quick to say they are in this relationship and they are heavily committed to some person. When you are committing yourself to that person and you are committing together, there's a lot that can go on and there's a lot that needs to go on to realistically be in a solid relationship, especially now we're coming up on the age where we are getting older and it's not just another high school fling. You know what I'm saying? We are looking, and when we graduate from college, we're going to be looking for someone to spend our life with, So for me, the older generation, they definitely, in a sense, they had it better because in our generation, social media creates so many problems and it creates such a disconnect from us really connecting with someone. You know what I'm saying?
You can talk to somebody.
Yeah,
and they be.
You can text
all on social media.
Yeah, you can you can text them, you can Snapchat them, and it's just oh yeah, that's that. We like each other. No, back then you really you genuinely had to go knock on their door, take them out on a date, bring them back home, go take them out on another date. You know what I'm saying? You actually had to go through and really spend time with that person to say that you like them or that you love them.
or even that y'all was dating.
Yeah,
like
here you can just be Snapchatting someone long enough to say that oh, I'm feeling her.
mm,
I'll say like my bad comparisons from like relationships from back in the day to now. I'm gonna honestly say it's the same, and I'll only say that it's the same because everything, like they ever say, is no new thing under the sun. And the only difference between now and from last year is just because, like I said, social media, we have technology that can bring about the issues and troubles within relationships. Everything that's happening now with relationships, stuff like that, happened in the past. Where you think it came from? The only difference is you're able to bring light to it. So it's no big difference. The only difference is just you're able to expose, you're able to bring light to it, and that's all it comes to. So like, yeah, relationships back in the day probably able to last longer and probably be more secluded because it wasn't able, no technology, like you wasn't able to, like back in the day you would write papers and mail them from like post office, stuff like that. Now you can just send some quick text and those messages are saved. So like that's how the issues and stuff like that get brought about, because as technology grows, more issues grow. Yeah, it has advances and stuff like that. But it also has technology also brings it back trouble with it as well. So yeah.
well, okay, I think that's about it for today. Thank you guys for listening to our podcast. This is Isaiah Grice, and this is
Tholoi.
and thanks for listening.